Listen, I don't review Netflix movies a lot, but when it comes down to this kind of movie level and this acting, this directing, and this kind of like budget, how can I not review this movie? The Irishman. Martin Scorsese's next big mob epic movie comes to Netflix. Yep, it's a Netflix movie, and I gotta sit down for a second. It's so crazy. We are getting this type level movie on Netflix. That's just so crazy to me. But either way, this movie stars Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci, with Harvey Keitel, who's not in as much as you think he is, but our main three is De Niro, Pacino, and Pesci, who Pesci hasn't done a movie in like a decade or decades. I have no idea. But anyways, this movie is set in the 1960s. Robert De Niro is a guy who paints houses, and Al Pacino plays Jimmy Hoffa, who wants to have Robert De Niro come be his security guard basically at first, grows a friendship, and the mob gets in between Jimmy Hoffa and how he would control the union, and lots of more are into this movie. History kind of movie that apparently is true. I looked it up, which is super interesting. But basically, Pacino is the mob head, and Robert De Niro is joining the mob, and he's also with Jimmy Hoffa, Al Pacino, who is Jimmy Hoffa. And we have our movie, which is also, let me say this correctly, 3 hours and 29 minutes long. It is an epic long movie, and I can't lie, this movie, watching it, just felt like a classic, it felt such like an older movie. It felt like a Goodfellas. It felt like a Casino for sure. It just felt right. That's what I could best word say it. De Niro will be nominated for Best Actor. He's never been this good since freaking probably Casino and Goodfellas. He was excellent in this movie. I mean, he is really good. This movie is his. I mean, he is the narrator. You go through his life, his perspective. He is narrating the movie. He is so good. He's so good. I mean, like, he's so good in this movie. If he's not nominated, they are robbing him. He might even win. I mean, I know I want Joaquin to win it and everything, but De Niro is wow. He is a wow in this movie. Joe Pesci, I mean, I'm just happy to see him, but he's so good too. It's so crazy that this is like his third movie with Scorsese or something like that, but he is so good. And then we have Al Pacino, which is his first movie with Scorsese. He will be nominated for supporting actor, I guarantee it. He's Pacino at some points, and then he is really good Pacino. One of my favorite scenes in this movie, I won't spoil it, but I'm going to title it your 10-minute late scene. That scene, one of my favorite scenes of the year. That is acting. When people are like studying and watching film, they're going to watch the 10-minute late scene, because Al Pacino he's Al Pacino. There's a reason why he has one Oscar, which is a crime, but either way, he should get nominated for this movie, and hopefully he does get nominated. And the acting, everyone's amazing. The dialogue, the camera work, it's beautiful. It's Scorsese. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him direct a bad film. He can make bad films. Hugo, sorry. But he can make a good-looking film. Hugo. Bad movie. Anyways, but this movie, I mean, he does his thing, man. You got your zoom-ins, you got your quick edits and everything. It's a Scorsese movie with great dialogue, great editing, great production design, great cinematography. But the big thing we gotta get to that might lead to some criticisms. My biggest criticism, listen, I know this budget was $159 million, and a lot of it was due to the CGI affecting on De Niro and Pesci in the very beginning of this movie. They make them look young. At first, I was like, that's noticeable. Their eyes look good. It's their mouths that it just didn't look right. It just, their chins and this section just didn't look right. But once you get into it, I didn't even notice. And there are some scenes I'm like, is that CGI or is that not? It's that good. But I will admit, the very beginning, you were like, so there's young Pesci and there's young De Niro. All right, so I can definitely tell there. But besides that, my other issue is the whole movie, De Niro is the narrator. There's one 4-minute scene with Pesci doing the narration. It never happens again. It feels so, it's like it's just sticking out there. Like the whole movie's perfectly narrated by De Niro. It's all going smoothly. And then Pesci comes in for 5 minutes and narrates. And it's like, and he never does it again. I'm like, so why there? Like, why there? I just don't get it. It reminded me of Goodfellas, though. It definitely reminded me of Goodfellas and Casino, because he narrates in Casino. Yeah, he does. You know for a fact. And also, the last hour of this movie is so intense. I don't want to spoil it. I'm just going to say it is so intense. This movie is not an action movie, though. It's a lot of talking, but it's a good story, and it's interesting, and it's long. And I mean long. And honestly, it didn't bother me. I enjoyed every minute of the movie. I thought it was just a classic good movie, if you ask me. I'm going to give The Irishman a strong A-. I definitely gotta watch it again, but I definitely am gonna say Goodfellas is still his, like, Goodfellas. I might even put Casino over Irishman, but I would consider Irishman to be part of that club of De Niro and Scorsese and their best. Like, I mean, it is... De Niro is so good in this movie. It's crazy how good of an actor he is. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.